Lee, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what it looks like right when I open it up. Just to kind of explain like what I'm seeing here. So in this, middle section here, I've got, the actual scene. I can like click on things and move it around. But over here to the left, I've got like what the camera's seeing. And then down here, I've got my timeline, which so like if I selected everything, you'll see like keyframes down here. So this is where like things are actually happening on the timeline. And
And for the
also,
people at home, can you show them where the camera is?
oh, okay. So let's
Yeah.
go down.
Sweet.
Where's
Yeah.
that first camera?
That's
Let's go
great.
see. Right there.
Okay.
So, like, I guess let me turn on the rendering mode, or I'll just turn on the material preview because there's a
Okay.
lot of stuff here. It'll go slow if I start bringing in
Right.
like where the like all the light bounces and stuff.
Right. That's
So
oh
right
no.
now it's loading all the textures. So yeah, these are
Mm,
clouds, and I've got some planets off in the distance. There should be there's another one over here.
mm,
And so if I go down, here's that camera.
right.
And this is what it's, that first shot over here, this is what it's
Nice.
seeing.
Nice.
And it's, it's seeing that planet off in the distance and whatnot. And so like if I slide through the timeline here, you can see that camera moving and, all the different shots. And my face is purple right now because it's probably not finding where the textures for my face are. I made
Oh,
this
gotcha.
project like sometime last year, and I've since like reinstalled Windows, and some
Right.
all my stuff is in a different place.
Right.
I guess
That's
let me
it.
go and find those textures just so it doesn't look so jarring. um,
Linking media.
let's see, render face. There we go. So yeah, all this stuff is just here, and I can this is the camera view over here, and this is the actual world. This is the timeline of everything that's happening, and we've got properties for every single thing that I can click on, and then this view over here is just everything that's in the scene. So we've got all the cameras, we've got all the suns and lights, and I've got the clouds. So everything's here, and everything's visible and editable and animatable. So yeah.
So this world is from Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, and this is one of the few times where I made everything myself. So this is just completely, and a lot of this stuff is like you can't tell, but it's like copy pasted. So I maybe made like one quadrant here of like 9 little sections, and then I just like copy pasted everywhere else.
Hmm.
This water is like one big flat plane that's just like attached to everything else, and again that's duplicated. And then I made maybe like 4 or 5 buildings, and then just duplicated those everywhere. So that's all around the world. I made one tree, and just duplicated that everywhere, made that at different heights, and all the land that was like generated with like a Blender add-on, where it's it takes a plane and just kind of makes bumps everywhere. And so I made 9 of those and just duplicated those everywhere, and it looks cohesive. Got a whole world,
Right. Right.
and as you're flying around, you can control what the camera sees. So you can kind of just pick and choose what you want the camera to see, and it all looks fresh and new and different to like somebody just watching the animation. But once you break it down, you're like, oh, all these things are like the exact same, they're just in different places.
So you decided, oh, I want to recreate that world
Yeah.
from memory, right?
uh
Or you had references,
Halfway.
but when you were like, oh, I want to recreate a world from Dragon Ball Z, there were some worlds that you were thinking of, right? Like from all the
Exactly.
worlds, you thought of this one.
Exactly. So like this is one of those situations where I heard a song and I was like Dragon Ball Z instantly. The guy that made this song, he made like 3 Dragon Ball like type music albums. And it's funny because from the same artist. I didn't take one of those songs from one of those albums. His vibe has always just kind of been like Dragon Ball music, I feel like.
Nice.
So, I got one that wasn't even on one of those albums, and I was still like, this gives like a Dragon Ball vibe. So let me, make that world and make something to it where I'm flying around on, the Nimbus cloud. And canonically, I don't think Nimbus would be on this planet. I haven't watched a whole lot of Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, or I haven't consumed a lot of that content. I know enough to get by. I know the characters and whatnot, but
You remember this scene? You remember the blue trees? Did that
yeah,
stand
I,
out
I
to you?
remember this planet. Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, let me just hopefully nobody calls me out for it. There's been a couple, but
Right,
there
right.
it's mostly joking. Like how is that possible? But that's gonna happen.
Nice, nice. Um, I feel like, oh my God, like I feel like this is like, people dream of worlds like this. Like
Yeah.
they wake up and they like explain like worlds like this. You so this scene stuck out to you from your memories and you want to recreate it. Look at all those colors. Oh, that's so great.
And it's a little laggy now because I've turned on the real world lights. But
Right. If you
uh,
want, you can you can make it even more bare bones so that you can show something, like a smoother like camera movement to take us around.
oh, for sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is just everything without textures and without lighting. And that's but one thing that I did, some weird thing that I decided to like think of, I was like canonically, how many suns does this planet have? And so like I actually use, like two different like sunlights, like that are shining. Or no, I'm sorry, this planet has three actually. So I use three different ones, and so they're all like pointing in different directions and they're different colors and stuff. So
Oh
something,
wow.
funny that I thought would be, kind of. I don't know why it's not letting me click on it. Maybe I
So
don't.
so in the story, that planet has three suns.
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you tried to, and what did that do to your workflow or to
I mean, to add a
very
sun,
bright?
it's just as easy as adding a sunlight here. But I just they're all in the center there, and they're all different colors. I think yeah, like one of these is purple, one's yellow, and there's a third one that's purple. So that kind of just it creates like a different. So like if I were to turn back on the rendered mode, and it's the speed's fine here. We can, if we're not moving around that much. So like if I wanted to like move around that color, you can see everything's changing there. So I just kind of played around with the colors until I got the right one that I wanted. So yeah,
God, it looks like when you zoom out of a video game, like it looks like
yeah,
it's so good. Reminds me of yeah, I can totally see like wanting to recreate like Animal Crossing worlds. Dude, you can make a whole juicy Animal Crossing series, like
honestly,
just to recreate the whole village. Look at that. That's so cool. Yeah, so like this look you got
Mhm.
that you nailed, and it's cool because you're taking a 2D world and then you're you know translating it into this 3D Nintendo-esque world,
True, yeah.
which I think is so cool, interdimensional and multi-universe and all that.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
dude, there's so much money into what you're doing. Okay, like there's a color palette, that you were drawn to for this
right,
scene
right.
in order to make this work, and you were replicating that. So you were like, okay, you were studying literally how many suns that world has.
I mean, that wasn't that much to do. I just Googled,
But
the
it's still a decision you're making,
yeah, yeah,
like
because I wanted to get the right colors, like of the grass and of the water, because it's not like the water was like just pure green, but it was kind of like this in between, like I don't even know what you would call this, maybe like a seafoam green, or I'm not
yeah,
exactly sure what aquamarine looks like, but
sticks out.
yeah. And this, the grass was just, obviously was green at first, and so I just like changed the hue of the grass until it was like a good blue for that planet. So